What is up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to week number 23 of the Weekly Headliner Update. Now, if you're new to the Weekly Headliner, this is where we talk about what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and we also recap some of those important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week, we got two very important blitzes. We're going to talk about those. We also have a new character event campaign for an Infinity Watch character that looks really good, and also a returning legendary event, and so much more, guys, that we're going to talk about on this Weekly Headliner Update. And we're starting right now. All right, guys, welcome back. And if it's your first time coming to the channel here and you would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you know when my videos do go live. And also in the description down below, there's a few other ways for you to connect with me. One, you can join my Discord. There's a link down below for that. And also to some other social media links, my Twitter, my Facebook, and a few other links that you guys might find important as well. But let's dive into the first topic for this week, which is going to be our blitzes. Now, the first blitz for tonight is going to be for Anti-Venom. Man, it's really tough to get some shards for Anti-Venom in the premium orbs, isn't it? I have opened up probably close to 40, no, maybe like 35 or so premium orbs, and I have gotten zero goose egg on shards for Anti-Venom. So you know me, I'm going to be going pretty hard on this blitz because I do want to be able to eventually at some point fill out these 6-7 red stars, right? It's going to take a while, but at least we can start somewhere. And I can guarantee you that there's some other players as well who will be pushing pretty hard for this. Those who are looking to unlock Anti-Venom, those who are looking to probably rank him up to 4 stars. He's so important to the symbiote team, so important to Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4, City Nodes, and also those Doom Raids. If you're trying to use a full symbiote team, or at least use 3 top symbiotes, AV is one of those 3 top symbiotes, right? So definitely going to be thinking that players are going to be going pretty hard for AV. Now, the next character is going to be on this Thursday blitz is going to be for Misty Knight, and Misty Knight is also very important. I think she's probably the most important character on the Heroes for Hire team. Now, I know war defense, and that's probably more important to certain players in this game, which I completely understand that. But she's a new character. You know, it's going to take a while before her to become farmable. So you definitely are going to want to try to push for this character as well. And like I said, I think she's the most important character on that Heroes for Hire team. And even though Heroes for Hire is war defense, they're the top premier war defense team in the game right now. So extremely important. In terms of numbers, when we looked at predictions, these are the predictions for Colleen Wing. Now, Colleen Wing's numbers for the top spot, or 1 to 100, I should say, 55.4 million were the blitz predictions. The actual numbers were 53 million and a little bit higher. It was like 53 million was the cutoff for 1 to 100. So as you can tell, shooting for 55 million is probably a good place to go just to make sure that you're getting that top 1 to 100. Now, if you're someone like me, I'm usually only shooting for top 2 to 3. I think if I max out all my 8 rotations, I'm usually able to get 38 million, but I am maxing out 8 rotations because I got kids. So I'm usually shooting for like 28 million or so. So I'm going to be looking to get in that 55 range, but these numbers are usually pretty good. Those blitz predictions are going to be going out in the Discords, most likely today for AV, right? And of course on Thursday for Misty Knight. So take a look at what those numbers are. Figure out how many rotations you need to get and what numbers you're targeting here, you know, for your different percentages. All right, guys, and this week on Wednesday, we have 2 events that are going to be running simultaneously or parallel to each other here. We have the Vote for Loki event, which is the event campaign for Phyla-Vell, so that you can grab those shards for her. And then you also have the campaign Mischief event, which is an event where you're going to be able to get some extra stuff, but also mainly getting the yellow flash bits that you need for the Loki costume, which, by the way, this Loki costume, wow, this looks really good. I gotta give it up to him. This looks really good. The Iceman costume looks really good, and the costume events that have been given out have also been very favorable ones for me. I think I like them pretty well. But let's talk about the event campaign first for Phyla-Vell. So for Phyla-Vell's event campaign, you need characters that have a specific trait, which is the Quantum Guard trait. So if you go into your roster and you filter it out and look for the Quantum Guard trait, you'll see the characters that you have available to do the campaign. The standouts for me, definitely Black Bolt. You know, you have Hela, there's Kestrel, there's Bishop, And even further down, as you look on my roster, Yo-Yo, Shatterstar also pretty good. Negasonic can be helpful. I think Yo-Yo probably has a lot of value here because of her offense downs. If you can get her to do that, that's good. And Polaris, there's a few of the characters that are definitely have the Quantum Guard trait. Phyla-Vell, Moondragon, if you have those characters also. If you jump into the supply store, you can take a look at the Quantum Guard orb and to see what characters you're going to be landing that you could potentially land from, doing the campaign. And they also are pretty good too. Bishop is here. Pretty much they're basically just a repeat of the characters that already have the Quantum Guard trait, right? Moon Knight, Hela, Negasonic, Shatterstar, and Yo-Yo, Phyla-Vell having that boosted drop rate. Man, I would have liked to have seen them throw some other X Factor characters in here. Number one, Polaris has the Quantum Guard trait, so I'm curious why she's not also in the Quantum Guard orb. That's interesting to me. You also have other X Factor characters like Multiple Man, Longshot. It would have been nice for them to have added those characters to the store as well. So I think this is kind of more of a wish. I would have liked to. It doesn't feel bad. It's just more of a, man, it would have been nice if they had those characters, added those characters here, because Adam Warlock, we know the legendary event is going to be rolling around soon. But as I mentioned, right, the event campaign for Phyla-Vell is going to be running simultaneously with the Mischief event as well, the campaign Mischief event, which is specifically for Loki and being able to get those costume fragments to be able to get the costume for President Loki. So running parallel with the Vote for Loki event campaign will be the campaign Mischief event, which rewards your event campaign participation with a chance to acquire Loki's new president costume. Spend Vote for Loki energy to earn points towards the daily Mischief milestone, which rewards ISO 8 resources, which are definitely going to be needed, right? Purple and Mystic gear, catalyst parts, purple and orange Mystic gear, catalyst parts, and those yellow flash bits. So definitely some good stuff that you can get from this here. If you scroll a little bit further down on the blog post, you'll see specifically what you're getting in terms of the ISO 8 resources. I do think that the 60 controller ISO 8 crystals for each attribute is still falling short for me. I would have liked to have seen at least 81, because it takes at least to go from 4 to 5. It's 81 pieces that you need. It's great that they're giving it per attribute, but also not enough to go from 4 to 5 when you know that unique characters are at this point. Controllers are the biggest ones, and that you need that amount of crystals just to go from 4 to 5 for those Doom raids. Would have liked to have seen them up that amount a little bit. So either way, both of the event campaigns look pretty good. I'm excited for them, and I'm definitely hoping to be able to gather some extra resources here. Also wanted to mention this week. So while Phyla-Vell was released, we also do know that Moondragon is going to be coming to the game this week. So they mentioned it here in the mail last week. So Phyla-Vell's partner in crime, Moondragon, will be available via offers on June 10th. So this week, we're going to be getting her in the offers, which also means that we're going to be getting the boosted drop rate for those red stars. So definitely take a look at that. You can also earn they mentioned that you can also earn her character shards in the upcoming Show Your Colors event. They did mention that in one of the previous blog posts. I think it's the Pride blog post, Pride and Telepath blog post that they had. So the next big Pride event is one of the first chances to recruit Moondragon to your Infinity Watch team, brighten your roster with Moondragon character shards and more. Unity Orb, Strength in Numbers milestone, Marvelous Allies milestone, Barrier Breaker milestone. So a bunch of stuff that is going to be happening this month, and it looks like next week Show Your Colors is going to be the first one to kind of kick this off, so that you can grab those Moondragon shards. Moondragon looks absolutely amazing. Some other things to focus on or remember this week: Magneto, that legendary event is tonight. Remember that you need X-Men or Brotherhood characters, or combination of all of them, to be 5 of them at least at 5 stars, to be able to land and unlock Magneto. So congratulations to those who are going to be unlocking Magneto, and for those who are also going to be ranking up Magneto as well. Congratulations to you guys. Also, Payday event is this week. That's going to be on Friday, so make sure that you get your mercs ready. There's going to be a double drop event for those merc characters, so filter out your roster for characters that do have that merc tag, for that have those campaign nodes. So, and mark them, so that, and remember that that double drop event is going to be announced some point in time this week in the mail, so let's keep a lookout for that. But let's dive into some other stuff, guys. So we did get an update on the Jubilee legendary event, or at least it was mentioned in the blog post here. So Return a legendary event. Your next chance to pack the explosive abilities of Jubilee into your roster is on the way with the return of the legendary event like Totally Jubilee. For a chance at recruiting the Astonishing X-Men Firecracker controller, you'll need a small but mighty Pimtech team at 5 stars. And they go on and talk about, you know, what you need in terms of levels and whatever to unlock the character. They did not give us a date though, which they usually do for at least recently, right? They usually have been doing that, giving us a date as to what we can expect the character. They did it for the Magneto event. They did it for all of the other previous events. So unfortunately, we don't know specifically when Jubilee will be returning. My assumption is that, so the blog post was on Friday, which usually means that we go through a week and then they're probably available the next week. So I'm assuming that she's going to be on the 14th. They could push it to the 21st, but I'm assuming that she's going to be on the 14th, which means that there's a potential chance that Adam Warlock may be available on the 28th. My thoughts, though, is that they might be pushing Adam Warlock to probably right before the next patch. And the reason why I'm thinking that way is for this reason. There's still some other balls that need to drop. We don't know where Polaris, where Shatterstar, where Multiple Man are going to be going. At least we don't know officially, right? We know that there's some data mines that have said that Multiple Man should be going to a Doom node. That's one thing that we saw, you know, a while back. I also did get this data mine shared with me last week. Said Commander, recruit Polaris. Polaris character shards are now available in Cosmic 1/6 and will replace Kree Noble. So that's a data mine that's out there. This was shared with me last week on patch day. I don't know whether this is actually going to happen. Data mines are usually pretty accurate, 95% accurate, but there's a possible chance that this is something that could change in the future. I thought this was more interesting though. So Polaris going to a node and one that's easily accessible is cool. For me, it's a matter of timing. When will that character actually go there is the question. That's really kind of a big deal for me, right? And then Shatterstar character shards are now available in the Arena Orb for 800 credits. So that's what the data mines are saying, that Shatterstar is going to be going to the Arena Orb. Additionally, Scream will move out from the Arena Orb, featuring and will be available in the Arena store for 975 credits. And this is kind of following their theme here, right? They said that they were going to be putting characters in the orb first, and then after the orb, they would then go to the store at the 975, and after 975, and then we'll be going to the 500, which to me means that Red Guardian is probably going to be going to that 500. Now, once again, these are data mines. This is not unofficial. This is happening. These are data mines here. So it makes me a little curious. Shatterstar is the first character, first new character that unlocks a legendary that they're thrown into the Arena Orb. So a question is, how long will they leave him in that store before they bring him to the 975 and then eventually go to the 500, which could be problematic for some players. Now, for someone like me, I was playing when Shatterstar was released through the event campaign. I was able to get him to 4-star, basically 4.5 stars. I was only about 50 or so shards, 55 shards away from getting him to 5 stars. Then we had RTA. He's been in one of those Greek raid orbs. I think it's Alpha raid orbs. So I've actually been getting a good amount of drops for him. I have him at 6 stars right now, but that's not the same thing for a lot of other players that have been playing this game. Maybe someone that's a little bit earlier than me, they may have not been able to land the shards that they need for Shatterstar. They may have not been around for the event campaign. So curious as to how long they're going to have him in there. If this is going to be 6 months, then that probably won't feel good if it's going to take that long for him to go to being a 500 credit character in the Arena store. But I wanted to talk about a few other things, right? So this past weekend, this kind of shifting gears here, this past weekend, there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on with Marvel Strike Force. A lot of frustration in this game right now. ISOs, kind of were the tipping point. A lot of things have happened before. These resource bottlenecks, the Doom Raid requirements, definitely have not been good. There's been a ton of bottlenecks in the game with power creep, power leap, all these different things that have really kind of frustrated us. But this weekend we got a message from Cerebro. Now I can't share exactly what the message said, but it gave me some pause on sort of just my negative feeling towards things. And for me, I'm usually not that negative in general. At least I don't think so. I think I just typically tend to call out things that I think are wrong and I think that are good for the player base and the community. And typically whenever I hear Scopely respond back, I always think that it's a fluff message. But the message that I got from Cerebro gave me some hope. My hope is very small, but it gave me some hope because it didn't seem like that regular fluff that we're usually used to getting, you know, from Scopely. So there is some sort of common faith that I have right now that maybe they are hearing us, that the videos that we've been making, that the messages that they've seen already, that they're starting to understand that they need to do right by the community. And I'm hoping that with the message that we received this past weekend, you know, and as an envoy, a lot of the other envoys saw this message as well, that things will be improving in this game, you know, to a place where we can go back to having fun, to a place where we can go back to having videos where we don't talk about things that are negative, right? I would like to see that change. And like I said, this weekend gave me some small hope that maybe we might be turning the corner. Not fully, of course, but at least that what we're saying and what we're talking about is being heard. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking about, all the stuff that we talked about in the video, but even just that last piece right there. What are you guys thinking? You know, obviously we're not sharing exactly what the message is because it's something that we're not allowed to, but at least it gives us some opportunity, right, to have some sort of a hope. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you guys so much. You guys are always amazing, and I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You guys have a blessed one. Y'all be safe.